not really with that. He said, she said, he say, she say, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He say, she say, I running the trap like relay, get it through the mail like eBay. He say, she say, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He say, she say, running the trap like relay, get it through the mail like eBay. He say, she say, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He said, she said, running the trap like relay, get it to the mail like eBay. I wake up, I put on my clothes, time to go check me a road. You fit to me, shit to me, nothing, I really turn nothing to something. Look, I used to be broke like a bitch, I was hurt, I was ugly. These bitches, they ain't wanna touch me, now none of these niggas can touch me. The time that you thought I was spending alone, I was working the phone. The time that you thought I was bummy, I was just taking my money. Yeah, the time that you thought I was down and out, I was out in the drought. I get the dope and then ship it out. I'm never get gangster. I know Victoria's Secret. I got the key to the streets. I got some niggas be trapping. They wanted, they coming to me. Look, that bitch said she want me to fuck her just like I be fucking the beat. I told her that me and my niggas gon' be there for the drink. My diamonds come right from the Mayans, and I run the street with some lions. I trap like I want me a Kanye and rap like I want me a Ray. Don't say no shit on the internet you ain't gon' say to my face. Look, these industry niggas be pussy, and I'm trying to give me a taste. He said, she said, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He said, she said, running the trap like relay, get it to the mail like eBay. He said, she said, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He said, she said, running the trap like relay, get it to the mail like eBay. Trapping, that's my reputation. I like rapping, that's my reputation. I like flipping cars, reputation. They know me, they know my reputation. I like kissing bitches, reputation. Dismissing bitches, reputation. Oh, flipping money, reputation. They know me, they know my reputation. Fucking dog, reputation. I go swing first, reputation. I might kill a verse, reputation. They know me, they know my reputation. Michael James, reputation. I turn my grandma house to trap house, that's my reputation. I got court cases, shell cases, reputation. Look, they know me, they know my reputation. Bitch, he say, she say, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He say, she say, running the trap like relay, get it to the mail like eBay. She say,
Miss Connie, in the chat, you don't have to take the song he say, she say in a different way. This is a female rapper, and she's actually talking to guys.
That little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He say, she say, running the trap like relay, get it to the mail like eBay. He say, she say, he say, he say, she say, he say, she say. Talk, I'm not really with that. He say, she say, I'm not really with that. He say, she say, hello. He say, she say, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He say, she say, running it up like relay, get to the mail like eBay. She say, she say, body bitch it like a. She say, she say, body niggas like a talk a lot. She say, she say, he say, she say, I'm not really with that. He say, she say, body niggas like a talk a lot. Why do bitches like to talk a lot? Yeah, he say, she say, he say, she say, nah. Hey, we ain't got that real fake on that. Yeah.
What's good? What's good? What's good with it, everybody? I am very appreciative, and I love how everybody just came right back to the chat, so we all can hang out together. Now, y'all see the title? Let's call out who's behind the madness. Now, from my opinion and my viewpoint. You know who I think who's behind all of this madness? Call them out. It's YouTube. It's YouTube and Google and so forth. Look, let's just think logical for a second here. All right, now who's like really benefiting from all of us on and off of YouTube? YouTube. Where are we bringing whatever we do here on YouTube? There's the one behind everything. They behind everything. They created this platform approximately around 2005 and started out and made it a way where people will feel comfortable to come to this website and get information, listen to music, and watch whatever you want to watch. And it grew. But what attracted everyone to it was that it was free. This is a free platform. Now, we all know anything that the government give you free is not good. Let's just be real. So if and so we gotta attach the government to YouTube because YouTube is attached to Google. They all one entity, so to speak. Now, if they giving us this platform, which is free, for us to come on to basically do the surveillance for them. So with all of us on YouTube every day, no matter what we're doing, what we're saying, because you can go to YouTube and find anything. I'm talking about anything. If you want to learn how to build a house from scratch, you can go to YouTube. If you want to learn how to do anything from building a skyscraper on down to fixing your car or anything, it's on YouTube. So what is YouTube doing? YouTube is not only changing the way things are being done, they're trying to take control. Now, and a lot of us, have anybody ever heard this saying where the world's going to end around 2012? Y'all remember back in 2012 when they were saying the world was about to end? That was true. But us being so misguided and lied to for centuries and centuries, we was looking for some Hollywood type of event to take place in 2012 from some big asteroid explosion or something like that. No, the world did end in 2012. And I'm going to tell y'all how. Notice back in 2012 when Obama got in office, when we were hearing that the world was going to change, what they meant was the old way of thinking, the old way of living that we were used to was about to change. And it did. Look how much acceleration they have done since 2012. Since 2012, right? Ms. Rhea Bowman, you're absolutely right. Most of us do. And even if it's not on YouTube, it's on the internet, period. They has basically forced this, like I said, this technology, this way of living. We can't get around it. And, you know, years and years ago, we probably heard people saying, well, I ain't dealing with that cell phone stuff and I don't get online and all this. To basically function, you got to deal with these technologies that they bombarding us with. They bombarding us with. And then they make it where it's so important in our everyday lives. Just think about this. Think about maybe in the early 90s or 80s or something like that. How I used to travel out of town, and it wasn't all this fancy technology. If you travel out of town, to get where you're going, you either had to, one, know exactly how to get there, two, pull over at a gas station or something and ask for directions, or three, use a map. Now, you can hit a few buttons on your cell phone and it'll get you right there. That's taking control. So what most of us gonna say, oh, that's good technology and yeah, it help us out. But who is it really benefiting? Have y'all noticed the past couple years? I gotta say more than couple. This like even go so far to say the last 5 years, and I'm quite sure it's longer. Why is every other month in the United States, you look up on the news and online, and every social media site that we trusted in the beginning to signed up to put our information on, every other month they saying these social media sites been hacked, everybody information has been breached. Why is that constantly happening? Why is it happening? So you mean to tell me everybody that signed up for Facebook, all our information is breached and we don't know who got it or what they doing with it? I've always said if it's a DeMarco Jones living in America, I guarantee you, with all this nonsense going on, it's another DeMarco Jones somewhere else under my identification. I have to think that way because this is what they constantly telling us. And I'm not saying that they constantly telling us this in order to believe it. My point is they're constantly saying this because something is going on, whether their intention is to lie to us. One thing we can admit and identify is that something's happening. So all of these social media sites, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Google, Yahoo, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, all of our information is constantly being stolen. Let them tell it. Who's stealing it? And again, what are they doing with it? So they want us to believe that the big bad United States, top security of the world, is allowing all of its citizens' information to be stolen constantly every other month. And then to make it so bad, when it happened uh, to everybody that signed up to Facebook, they didn't even immediately come out and tell us. So this is what I want y'all to know. Wherever y'all at, no matter what city, what state, you have the right to call you an attorney and file a lawsuit against Facebook and any other, mainly Facebook, because majority of us do have Facebook accounts. So we all have to know that we have the right. We don't give a damn about their civil rights or a law right now. I'm talking about our human rights. We have the right to get us an attorney and try to file some type of lawsuit against Facebook for allowing our information to be stolen. And we all know when we sign up for these sites, they quick to tell us that our information is private and will be protected at all costs. In fact, that was the complete opposite. That was the opposite. You're right, Lumo. I spoke on that a couple months ago. How they should talk about every human being was going to be microchipped. No, do you know what type of chaos that would cause if they just try to line up all the humans on Earth and put microchips in us? No, they got around that by giving us a piece of, and we still are microchip. They got around it by giving us the cell phone. Every cell phone got a chip in it. That's your chip. That's why they tell you when you get a phone, you put your Google, you put your email address on there. And with the iPhones, they ask for a lot. You got an iPhone, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They want your blood type. They want your email address. They want the emergency contacts. They want your credit card, debit card information. They want all of this on a phone, just to use a phone. So what they did was made all of this technology seem sweet. We got to get them. This is what they said. We have to get them, but we have to make it look nice and pretty for them, where they'll just come willingly. We'll walk ourselves into the grave willingly, basically, to put it in the raw. So what they did with the, let's use the cell phones for example. They put all these video games and all these apps where you can do this and you can do that. They made it nice and pretty. Not only you can make a call or receive a call or a text, you got all the accessories to go right along with it to make you want it. Okay, let's think of this. Why is the government trying to make us think that iPhones stand in alone in its own category when it does the exact same thing that any other phone to do? What they do? Trick promotion. by giving Apple, which is iPhones, apps that only you can download if you have an iPhone. But hey, if you got an Android, you can download similar apps. All it is a different name, same game, different name. But they trying to make us think that, hey, if you got an iPhone, you on top. No, if you got an iPhone, just like any other phone, it's easier for them to track you. It's easier for them to snoop on you. Do y'all recall the guy that used to work for NASA, Eric Snowden? And then they made a movie about it, but they wouldn't allow that movie to go to the big screen. But if y'all get a chance, go and watch that movie, Eric Snowden. That's real. It's about a guy that used to work for NSA. In the process while he was working, he seen what was going on, what the governments around the world was doing to the people. This spying. They in our homes, y'all. Like I just said, they made the technology so nice and pretty where you will rush out and buy it. Do y'all recall me saying if y'all got laptops in y'all house or smart TVs and you're not using them web cameras, put a piece of black tape over the camera. What's the use for your camera to be exposed and you're not using it? Who want to see what you're doing? Who want to hear what we're saying inside the privacy of our own homes while we riding in our own cars? While we just living our own private life? Who will want to invade that? We got to start acting like we know these things. Because a lot of times we jump out there and y'all just heard me say about a week ago with the kids in Chicago, if you turn on the news every day, these kids doing crimes petty as carjack you or blow your brains out on the street, and they can clearly see that where they doing it at is under heavy surveillance, cameras everywhere. But do that stop them? No. Obviously, it don't make them think twice. And they still do it. The whole country under surveillance. And look at it wasn't even, to be honest, the things that we're witnessing today wasn't even taking place when all the surveillance wasn't even here. So what's going on? YouTube is behind a lot of this stuff going on. They allow it, they promote it. They don't care if it's a lie. They don't care about none of that. I just said they threw out a website to us that's came out free, made us comfortable to get onto it, signed out, put our information on it, our Gmail, emails account or whatever, and then start using it. So now what they doing is monitoring us. They monitoring our behavior like we mice or something. Like we often some type of experimental lab. They watch what we do. They listen to what we say. They analyze the way we project things. They analyze the way we respond. Why you think when you see a lot of these so-called attacks throughout the country, every time the same people are on the scene? Some of the same people, you can go to different events, but you see the same people on the scene. Why are they there? How do this lady and this man just mysteriously pop up at everything? They're monitoring the way the people respond. They want to know what to do, what they got to do next. How can they fight us? How can they shut us down? How can they brainwash us? How can they continue to make us less and less and less reliable on ourselves? One way they doing it, most of us today, and let's just keep it real. Most people, you ask a question, nowadays we don't even take the few seconds to even use our brain. Even if we don't know, to just try to sit back and just think like it used to be like that, but it's not now. It used to be a time where we were forced, basically, to at least try to use our brain. But now you don't have to do that. Somebody asks you a question, you can quickly pull up Google, and Google will do it for you. So what that does is make you less and less reliable on using your own brain, your own intelligence, your own ability to go out and learn and to seek things. You're absolutely right. That's programming. I've always said that the schools that they raise us in are only programming centers. They don't have schools in the United States to prepare us to be better human beings. The schools in this country only prepare you to be a robot, to have you thinking and living and dependent on systems that they already have set up. You go to grade school, you go to high school, you go to college only to learn their business fields. And then one of those institutions that I just named, starting from a kid up until adulthood, you don't learn, they don't teach you anything about yourself or even give you the tools to. But what they do is brainwash you and mentally prepare you to go out and be a lawyer, to go out and be a doctor, to go out and be a construction man, to go out and do this, to do that. What if I don't want to do none of those things? What if I want to go through these institutions and strengthen my brain and learn as much as I can, and then in the end, I decide what I want to do, even if it's something that's not never been done? That's education. Not teaching us to do what y'all want us to do. That's not education. That is brainwashing. The human race has been degraded to androids. That's what they're trying to do to us. They are trying to make us like androids, where you go without even questioning. You just go. You go through life without even questioning nothing. I saw something in the chat the other day, that something that I always said. What if you woke up one morning and realized that everything that you have been taught is a lie? Imagine the effect that would take on you and those around you. Imagine it. Imagine that. Everything you know is a lie. Everything we have been taught, have been told, have been shown is a complete lie. So if we can at least understand and admit possibility, the next question we should ask ourselves is, why would something like that be done to anybody? And like I just said, if before they came with all this surveillance, the things we seeing today, we wasn't seeing those things when there was less surveillance. But now that we got more surveillance and it's amped up, how can that be? It's the same as, okay, your house getting broken in, so now you surveillance your house down with the top security system. Now there's a possibility that you can survey your house, and maybe the break-ins are, if not stop, lessen, because now you got a chance to see what's going on. Not only see what's going on, who's behind it. So if people know that your house is under surveillance and it's a possibility that they can go to jail, we already know that the mildly retarded already exists. There are people that will not give a damn about that, but you will have some people will say, hey, we're gonna skip over this house because they under surveillance and I ain't trying to go to jail. Even though what they doing, most criminals don't think that far. Most criminals, they just see the crime and they don't go that far. They don't think far as if, well, man, if I get caught, I got to do this. If I do this time, I'm not doing it by myself. My kids gonna suffer. And no, most criminals don't think that far. They just think the lick and hit. But yeah, it's the same thing. You would think that surveillance would cut it down, but y'all, it's amped up, and it's amped up everywhere. Who benefited from it? In this situation, YouTube is behind a lot of what has been going on. They promoting it. They causing it. So even if you know, with the flagging and the striking, they're allowing that to happen. Okay, that's there. But just think about it. The way they do it is in a way where it will, if it's conflict and confusion or whatever, or beef and whatever, what we've been seeing forever here on YouTube, they do it in a way where it allows it to continue. Let's use this for an example. Now, here's some real facts. Most of the things we seeing on YouTube now, why are we seeing it? Okay, now we seeing, first of all, somebody need to tell a lot of these, not just rappers, people in the industry, period. You're not famous anymore. Y'all have to come and realize, I'm talking about all these famous people. Y'all not as famous as that industry used to be. You're less and less relevant to the people. That's why y'all see a lot of these artists. Think back years ago when people was in the music industry. They didn't have time to be all on YouTube beefing. How in the hell is this happening? And why? If y'all famous and y'all done came up, moved out the hood, got all this money, and y'all want the ones that's left behind to actually believe that y'all done came up, what in the hell is y'all doing on YouTube? It just showed that at the accelerant rate that you got these record labels like Interscope, how they came through Chicago and signed all these kids. It was never about no music. It didn't have anything to do with no music. They came through. I keep telling y'all, when Chief Keef first got signed, and this finna blow y'all mind. Do y'all know why they signed him when he was a kid? It's because one night the police was chasing him. He tried to turn around and shoot them. The gun jammed. Next thing you know, these people come through Chicago and give him a record deal. Didn't have nothing to do with no music. So what was that? What was that all about? That was about taking a guy, a kid that was mildly retarded, put him on a stage because he was willing to shoot that gun and portray this gangster image. Forget about real life. But watch this kid that went to jail, got out, started doing music. So what happened next? Damn near every kid that was interested in music followed suit. Just like when we was kids. We had our celebrity that we loved to watch, loved to listen to. Most of us even tried to be like them. Come on, let's just be real. Who didn't like Ice Cube or whoever your celebrity was, whoever the artist was that you like, whether it was an actor or actress or a musician or whoever. A lot of us grew up liking these famous people and we tried to copy them. Look at the basketball players. They had us going out buying gym shoes. The rappers had us going out buying certain clothes. These celebrities on TVs had us trying to live our lives a certain way. So it's brainwashing. So if we know that we grew up like that, and now the signals that's being sent to the kids today is nothing but destruction. Not just destruction, but it's self-destruction. Destroy yourself. Make the job easier for us. What we read, what we watch, what we listen to, we have to be extremely careful. Why? Because that stuff is going inside of your ear into your brain. Do you want to read something today and have that stuff on your brain 10 years from now? Some straight garbage? I'm not saying it's not good for us to come across a lot of things and learn about a lot of things, but we have to be extremely careful. With everything we've been through, we have to keep our approach with cautions. Everything. Approach with cautions. I don't care how long we know it, how long we have known it or them or whatever. Things change. People change. So if you approach with cautions and then in the end everything is all right, then hey, it's all right. But if you approach with cautions and then something go wrong, It's something that you expected. And by you approaching with cautions, what? You're going to be prepared. YouTube is promoting a lot of the things that's going on in our lives. They're trying to control it. They'll come at us for anything we do. But here's something that's been going on YouTube for months, almost a year now. And we see the flaws from the jump. Do they stop that? No. They push it more to us. But let us try to combat it. Let us try to stop it. Let us try to dissect it. Let us try to expose it. They'll shut us down. They'll shut us down only because we want the truth. We living in a world now where the truth is looked down upon. Nobody want to hear the truth. It's too boring. It's too real. Nobody want to hear that. People would rather listen to a lie, even if it's plain, even if it's a flat out lie. Nowadays, it's more interesting. Why is that? Because we have been brainwashed, and let's just be honest, we have lost our way. We lost our way because we allowed this stuff to happen. And then to make it so bad, we allowed it to happen to us. I don't care who it's coming from. We can't allow it. That's all they want to do is just take control. They want us to just be so brainwashed with what we see on YouTube and Google and the internet, to just take it for face value without even questioning it. What they trying to do is make Google our God. Anything you see on Google is trustworthy. No, it's not. I tell people the same thing every day. When you just for instance, you go into an amusement park, you get on a roller coaster. You have to approach with cautions. Why? Because man put it together with his hands. There's no way it can be put together perfectly. It's something bound to go wrong. Why? Because man put it together with his hands. They want Google to be our God. And with these kids nowadays, like what I said, with the world ending, the old way of knowing life, the way we used to know it, that's gone. The old way of doing things are gone. That world is gone. Why do you keep thinking and a lot of us are familiar. That's why they kept saying a new world order. We're living it right now. A lot of us that's older, the things we came up on is almost out of here. So with the youth coming up and all the crazy stuff they seeing now, that's all they know. They don't know nothing about what we came unless we teach them. And then we're going to be gone. So if we don't teach them at least some of the things that we know, all they going to know is what they seeing now. They don't know nothing else. Especially in a lot of our communities. In a lot of our communities, is being shown and told you have a conflict, then you go kill. Don't even try to work it out. Don't y'all, and I'm talking to the youth, don't y'all realize that if you have a conflict with somebody, if you go talk it out, which can be done with probably in a matter of minutes, but no matter how long it takes, you live, they live. Y'all, these kids today, I call them the generation of not going. And if y'all notice, they all say when they get into an argument, I ain't going, I ain't going. So if you got two people standing here arguing, he not going and he not going, what that mean? They ready to kill. If you got one shorty over here saying, man, I ain't going for what you on, then he over there telling him, man, I ain't going either. It's war. These two mildly retarded, somebody gonna end up hurt or dead, if not both of them. That's why I say this the not going generation. Right, exactly. There you go. Because we got, and I have said this before, you got guys like 50 Cent, you got guys like Ice Cube, you got guys like Snoop Dogg, them, all these people that's top celebrities. Look at what they done. Look at what they stand for. Ever since we have known them guys, they have came through our community with this music and movies and all this nonsense and have done nothing but to help destroy us. And then they got filthy rich off of it. Images are important because if you can see it, it will do something to your brain. It will guide the way you think, and then sooner or later, you're going to act. Sooner or later, you're going to act off of what you're seeing and listening to. So since we can remember throughout the history of music, look at what these guys done. They ain't done nothing good for the community nowhere. You got Snoop coming through pimp, rapping and teaching this bullshit pimp game. Then you got Ice Cube and them coming through with this kill 'em up shit. And I can name so many more. But look how on a pedestal, Jay-Z and them, all of them. They placed on and we so in a deep depth of sleep, which resembles a coma, that we place these people up on these high pedestals. And we look at them just because they doing music, just because they on TV acting, just because they appear to have some of the things that most of us don't have. And then that becomes their God. And then in some cases, they become some people God because they celebrities. Believe it or not, just us living our average everyday life, we living much better lives than them. Ain't talking about all the money that they portray to have, because most of them don't really have it until they on TV or in a music video or something. But we got to keep it real. I'm telling y'all, YouTube and Google and all this stuff, because they're the only ones that can really benefit and from all of us. And they making a extremely huge profit from it. That's crazy to say that with what's happening now, you got people that, do you know how many people would actually love to get a record deal and like do some real music, not to get up here and get a record deal, then end up on YouTube beefing and at war with somebody that live 10 states away from you? How can that happen? We thought all these artists was here for music, right? But it ain't got nothing to do with no music. These people knew who they were signing. It was an experiment. Get this youth and let's get the next generation. But let's show them how we want them to live. We can't keep allowing it, y'all. We cannot keep allowing it. They don't care. They don't know us. These politicians in office, they don't give a damn how we live. They don't know us and they don't care too. Only thing they care about is that big paycheck that they get from us, from the high ass taxes that they give us. Only thing they want us to do is pay for their lavish lifestyles. So we know who behind this madness. They're the only ones gonna profit from it. I'm gonna get ready to punch out, y'all. I love coming in and just kicking it. Later on today, I think I'm gonna open up a panel. Anybody welcome to come up on the panel, and we could just, you know, talk about some things. We ain't gotta have no specific topic. Y'all know how we do. If it need to be discussed, addressed, the awareness brought to it, let's get it. I'm gonna get ready to punch up out of here. Check in with y'all in a few hours. We're going into the evening. I hope everybody afternoon going smooth and safely. And women, queens, sisters, y'all already know, keep that security tight. Keep it tight. Everything gonna be all good. I'm out.
He said, she said, he said, she said, I'm not really with that. He said, she said, he say, she say, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He said, she say, I run in the trap like relay, get it through the mail like eBay. He say, she say, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He say, she say, run in the trap like relay, get it through the mail like eBay. He say, she say, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He say, she say, run in the trap like relay, get it through the mail like eBay. I wake up, I put on my clothes, time to go check me a road. You can't tell me shit, tell me nothing, I really turn nothing to something. Look, I used to be broke like a bitch, I was ugly. These bitches, they ain't wanna touch me, now none of these niggas can touch me. The time that you thought I was spending alone, I was working the phone. The time that you thought I was bummy, I was just taking my money. Yeah, the time that you thought I was down in the house, I was not in the drought. I get that dope and ship it out, I'm never get catched. I know Victoria's Secret, I got the key to the streets. I got some niggas be trapping, they want it, they coming to me. Look, that bitch said she want me to fuck her, this like I be fucking the beat. I told her that me and my niggas gon' be there pulling the tree. My diamonds come away from the Mayans, and I run the street with some lions. I trap like I want me a Kanye, and rap like I want me a Wraith. Don't say no shit on the internet, you ain't gon' say to my face. Look, these industry niggas be pussy, and I'm trying to give me a taste. He say, she say, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He say, she say, run in the trap like relay, get it through the mail like eBay. He say, she say, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He say, she say, run in the trap like relay, get it through the mail like eBay. Trapping, that's my reputation. I like rapping, that's my reputation. I like flipping cars, reputation. They know me, they know my reputation. I like kissing bitches, reputation. Dismissing bitches, reputation. Oh, flipping money, reputation. They know me, they know my reputation. Fucking dope, reputation. I go swing first, reputation. I might kill a first, reputation. They know me, they know my reputation. Like a James, reputation. I turn my grandma's house to trap house, that's my reputation. I got court cases, shell cases, reputation. They know me, they know my reputation. Bitch, he say, she say, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He say, she say, run in the trap like relay, get it through the mail like eBay. He say, she say, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He say, she say, run in the trap like relay, get it through the mail like eBay. He say, she say, he say, he say, she say, he say, she say, talk, I'm not really with that. He say, she say, I'm not really with that. He say, she say, hello, he say, she say, ask that little bitch on my dictates. I'm not really with that. He say, she say, running the trap like relay, get it through the mail like eBay. He say, she say, body bitch it like a talking lot. He say, she say, body niggas like a talking lot. He say, She say, he say, she say. I'm not really with that. He say, she say. Why these niggas like to talk a lot? Why these bitches like to talk a lot? Yeah, he say. She say, he say, she say. Nah. Hey, we ain't got real fake on that fake. Yeah.